I can't deny the desire to apply my inspiring, war-minded ideas to my digital landscape, this fantasy world.
All right, everybody, welcome to Evony Bites. We got another episode here for you. I had a great question come up on YouTube. It's a pretty long, pretty cool question. Server versus server. I have yet to see any Evony video where someone is explaining what they do during server versus server. My keep is the same size as yours. I have trouble figuring out how to participate in server versus server. I know how to look up and locate enemies on the server, but not sure of anything past that. I see people just moving troops back and forth and bubbling and teleporting and getting zero because they fell asleep on enemy server. How can I attack in a smart way to try not to go negative? Sometimes I can see scout reports, not sure how to look at it, and then determine what types of troops I should send in and attack, but I see that other people are doing that. I'm on a new server and everyone just kind of fights, so it's hard to get help. There's some help, but with the language barriers, I can't even understand the people on my alliance, and we play at different hours. I know different ways to set up player versus player marches, gens, equipment, etc. Not sure how to use, test them in server versus server. Well, DJ, fantastic question. First thing I want to say is you kind of described server war. I mean, some of the bad news is that that's the essence of server war. It is actually quite difficult, and unless you're in certain pockets, there are certain pockets. We'll talk about those. Let's go to Evony. So it's interesting to note that I think there's kind of three pockets in which you can have a lot of fun in server war. First pocket being tiny. If you're just really tiny, just say you have one march or something that you can ghost, or maybe not even that. Well, that's a little bit fun because now you can hop all over their server, our server, kind of bubble down, taking hits, getting trap points, getting fairies, finding Aries, kind of doing whatever you want, because what can they do to you? Make your city burn? I mean, so in a sense, that's kind of fun. Second thing is sort of a mid-range size. Let's say 150, 200 million, K30, K32, something like that, with a pretty strong attack. That's pretty fun as well, because just like the tiny account, you can ghost everything. You can pretty much be invisible. Stopping that ghost whenever you want to hit somebody gives you a lot of maneuverability. If you want to pop over to the other server to get Aries or some fairies or bosses, you could just ghost and do that. I mean, what are they going to do? Put flames on your city? So there can be a lot of fun in that pocket. Now, if you find yourself between those pockets, or between that pocket and the next one, it's kind of difficult. I'm going to call those valleys or apexes we all have to work to get over. But the next pocket is sort of, well, where I'm at, right? Where I'm at and above. Where I'm at, I can sit and actually take defenses. I can take a hit from a K39. I can take a hit from a K40. You can see these guys we're playing right now. Let's see where they're at. They're at one of these temples here. Yeah. So these guys we're playing now, K36, K37, K40. They, they can't defeat me. In fact, these guys are pretty smart. They haven't even tried. They know they only go for points positive, so they're being pretty careful about that. But being in my pocket, really, I want people to hit me, right? If they don't, unfortunately, very often. Let's just move over here by these guys, and while I'm talking, have a little bit of fun. Any of my teammates over here? No. I was just going to send them my cav, because I was going to, for the hell of it, just while we're on this video, just go ahead and open up. So I'm setting a rally to get rid of some of my cav here pretty quick. I'll just set a few of those, just to sort of show you the pocket we're talking about here. I'll leave a little bit of those T12 in here so that I've got layers. We'll get rid of most of those 11 and 12. I actually don't even have cavalry above 12. We'll just scout and find out what's in here. Alright, so being in the pocket I'm in is fine, because you can open by these guys, and wouldn't it be cool in this video if they just smacked me? But doubtful. But I just wanted to show you that, you get into my pocket and you can start to mess around a little bit. And be comfortable and have some fun, because I can attack pretty hard and I can take a pretty good defense. And she's going to scout me, of course, that's all she does. Hey, but good on you guys. If any of you guys see this video, good on you. You're very steady, very measured, very smart players. You guys are doing a good job. Anyway, so In my pocket, you can sit around to hope that someone hits you. If they do, they're most certainly going to be negative. So I'm going to gain points that way. The problem is people just don't really do that. Now, if these 3 or 4 right here decided to rally, then they could hurt me. They would be points positive, most likely, certainly if they did it with siege. So they're almost too measured. I'm surprised they don't do that. I've given them ample opportunity. But for the sake of the video, let's just go ahead and put that bubble back on. We can cancel those rallies. All right, so there's the 3 pockets. Now, I say that to encourage you, because if you find yourself not in one of those pockets, well, that's just normal, actually. There's really no way out of that other than to grow or deduce yourself into one of those pockets. You've got to be able to defend or move quickly to play with these big guys. Evony's just done that to the game. But I'm going to give you a few hints and secrets on how to do what I call scanning. You've got to be scanning constantly in server war to really get anywhere. That it is your return on investment. ROI is how much time you put in scanning, is the return on how many points you get. So scanning is going to look like this. It's going to be between chat, world chat. So you're going to be going to world chat and look. You can see here that there's cords constantly posted of people that are over here. And of course, these cords were posted an hour ago, and it's of the people we've got right here. This being Thanksgiving weekend, I think there's 6 of us really playing. I mean, it's pretty slow. These guys are over here taking temples. I don't really know why. They're losing right now. I guess nothing else to do. We're all kind of bored, but scanning, we're going to look at world chat and see the chords that people are posting. Right? That's one way. You find chords, someone post it, nail it, get on it, go jump on it, get those points. That's opportunistic. You've got to be doing that really hour after hour, day after day to be able to find those targets. Coming in server chat, same thing. There's a fire spirit posted here, which is not wholly relevant to large points, but also Aries get posted in here and other points. And usually they get posted in your alliance chat before they get posted in world chat, because alliance, your alliance wants to share it with you, or they want your alliance to get the points first. Additionally, it's somewhat informative to the enemy as well, because most enemies have accounts open in your server watching your world chat during server war. So if you're posting chords, they're also aware that you're aware. So they usually go in alliance chat first, then in world chat second, sometimes PM if you've got people private messaging you, sending your chords. So you constantly want to look at chat for those opportunities. Second thing you want to do is basically don't sleep. Have a lot of coffee, and it helps to have a lot of liquor, Fireball in my case. Yeah, but don't sleep. Stay up constantly looking at these things. The other thing you can do, and this only sometimes works, I don't know why that is, I haven't been able to determine why, but if you go into server chat and you can tap on one of the enemy that's talking, and it is active this time. But see, the view alliance is green. So you could go into view alliance, view members, and then see this crossed sword over Roy's monarch. And then there's a crossed sword over Ella's monarch, a crossed sword over Joe's monarch. That says that they're in our server. If you click on them, go to detail, locate coordinates, bam, it takes you to someone who's in our server. We'll just pop over there and see what he's got rocking. But if you're constantly looking in member lists for those crossed swords, you're gonna find targets. I mean, I just did. Now, I don't know, this guy's just sitting over here ghosting, trying to milk some ghosted points or something. And of course, he just scouted me back, because that's all they really do. All right, sake of the video, let's go back in there and bubble. But had he not been ghosting, or had something been going on there, just by happening to go out here, click on an enemy, view alliance, view members, I was able to determine that Joe was in my server with 446 million. And had he not been ghosting, I would have completely smashed that guy. So constantly looking at those cross swords is what you're looking for, right? Additionally, before server war starts, I bookmark all of the enemy alliances so that you can come in here and click on Alliance City, detail Alliance info, view members, and again, look for the cross swords. Okay, we see no cross swords on anybody, so nobody's on our server. Go back in here, go to another alliance. Alliance City, detail Alliance info, view members, look for the cross swords. Okay, you can do this as much as you want until your eyes bleed, but that is the way to get points, is to hunt, 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 hunt. Constantly go look in Other alliance cities, detail alliance info, view members, look for the crosses, look for the crosses. Okay, nothing's crossed, nobody's over here. I'm going to go back to world chat. Did anybody post anything in here? Nothing new in my own alliance, nothing new, just a couple fire spirits. All right, and then I can go back to bookmarks, back to another alliance city on the other server. Anybody with cross swords. So I'm just constantly hunting for people on my server, right? As much as you do this, as much as you get the reward. It's being opportunistic. It's constantly looking. That's how you find the enemy. That's how you get the points. Now, we have to wonder, okay, sure, scanning. But then what do you attack? How do you attack? How do you determine that? Well, I would have to say, DJ, thanks for the comment and the questions, by the way. This video is great. I would have to say that that's another video. That's kind of a complicated situation on how and when and what to attack. But let's just give an example. This morning at about 6 a.m., I peeled an eye open, wiped an eye booger out, cracked open my phone to just take a look, and it just so happened someone in our alliance posted chords of a bubble drop. Well, this is 6 in the morning. It's common in the middle of the night. It's Thanksgiving weekend. People aren't really on. So someone bubble failed. Well, I wasn't even awake, so I instantly went over there because, remember, being opportunistic, this is the way to win in Evony. Server war. So I popped over. I went ahead and hit them once. I scouted first. I saw 200 million T1 and a bunch of high cav and some other stuff, but no reinforcements, and I was confident I could whittle them down. Now I knew I would lose a wave. I knew I would probably lose 2 waves. This is something to take into account. If you think you can zero someone out entirely, it's okay to lose a wave or 2, even if you lose points, if you think you're going to kill them with, say, the second, third, fourth wave. In this case, I did believe that was true. So you'll see that reflected here. The first wave that I sent, you might look at this and go, well, wait a minute, Cap. You lost 267 million. He only lost 198 million. Well, that's true. That's true. So he's got me by about 65 million. She's got me by about 65 million or so on that. All right, so I went ahead and sent again, and I did archers because they were, this account needed it. We'll get into that some other time. All right, so 117 down to 267. Again, you're going, dang, Cap, you got smoked there, man. Did I get smoked? Actually, I was going in for the third kill, or the third hit, which would have been the murder for him. And my good old buddy Koodman must have saw me. He's the one that posted it, I think, and he just conveniently dropped right next to me. We didn't even discuss this or talk or anything. He just dropped right next to me, saw I was trying to kill him. And so I set a rally, and he joined very smoothly, very well. We both got in, and here's the result. So first hit I soloed, second hit I soloed, friend of mine dropped next to me, so the third time I went ahead and set the rally hoping he'd get in it, and he did. All right, so here he loses 140 million, but we take out 380 million, right? So he's doing good. I get 143 million, we take out 380 million. Well, that 240 extra positive million right there covers any negative I had on the last 2 reports and attacks and actually puts me in positive. So you might look at one attack and go, ooh, that was negative. Well, it's the aggregate. It's the overall, right? So getting negative on one wave is okay. Make it up on the next wave or the next wave. So it's an aggregate deal. You might be negative half of server war as long as you have a good goal in mind and a plan to get back up positive later. Remember, it's always important to take troops from the enemy. Now, it's a fine line between losing points and killing enemy, but killing enemy drains their resources, takes their speed ups, takes their sources of life. It's very difficult to do. It becomes a battle of attrition at the top. Who can heal more? So the more damage you do to them, even if you're not getting massively points positive, the better for you guys in the long run because you're going to whittle them down a little bit as far as their ability to heal, their stamina, and all that. So we'll go in here and take a look at server war. You can see my name's Cap, but I've got a gun on my name right now. So gun, I'm in rank 2 with 381 million. But let's go look at the negative. Okay. 360. I'm at 360 million, all from this one fight. It's the only fight I've been able to achieve in this server, whereas you've seen they won't hit me, so I have to watch for opportunities. So I'm 360 negative, 381 positive. That puts me 21, almost 22 positive. That's pretty good for fighting in the hundreds of millions. You got to keep in mind, you got to die to kill. You got to lose to win. It takes a lot of points to get points. So in the hundreds of millions points realm, you're going to have a lot lost. The point is, did you gain some? Did you take heals? Did you take source of life? Did you take resources? Did you take goods away from the enemy and hurt them more and stay positive on your server. If you did, then you've done your job well. If you beat the crap out of the enemy and take 1 billion points from them and you're only 2 million positive, bravo. You've beat the crap out of them, you've cost them a lot of money, you've made attrition take effect, and you didn't lose anything for your own server. You've done great. So you have to kind of measure these things as you go. As far as what to attack with, well, we'll have to do another video, DJ, but I would say that archers is your go-to. Obviously, no one scream and shout and fall out of your chair. That is not a one answer to everything, but it is sort of a go-to. I mean, everyone builds a strong archer attack. Archers do a really good job. You just need to make a determination on scouting someone, scrolling all the way down, looking at how many hundreds of million T1 cav they have, and if they do have hundreds of million, don't solo that. It's for another video, but don't solo that. And then also, do they have reinforcements? It's at the very bottom of the report. You've got to go all the way down to see reinforcements. Okay, scout when you can, make that determination. Don't scout when you don't have to, make that determination. But most of all, be online, be online, be online. Constantly scan the map, constantly scan chats, and constantly be looking for opportunities. Oh, isn't this cute? Everybody got involved. Miss Ella came over here again to let her castle sit there in front of me pretty without attacking me. Such a shame. All right. Well, anyway, introduction to server war. It's interesting that we're in server war. It's Thanksgiving weekend, and this has been kind of a tough server war, even for me. And I've been playing this game since 2009. But it's just tough to eke out points and to do them positively. And it's a grind, and you should be kind of tired and worn out at the end of server war mentally, because it actually takes a lot, bro. Really good question. I'm glad we got to address this. I'm going to wrap it up right there. Hopefully it'll lead into more questions and more videos. I'm going to go have some fun, do some killing, maybe get hit. All right, everybody. Remember, Evony Bites.